So, at last we meet, for the first time, for the last time. Yes, that was absolutely a quote from Spaceballs. I really didn't have much to lead into the intro with. We'll talk about it. Hello, Legion. This is Hadrian. Thank you for being here, and welcome to what is indeed the final Season 0 run in our Against All Odds series. Before we dive in, let's get properly acquainted. Timestamps are chaptered out in the scrubber bar below and linked in the description as well, so if you want to jump to gameplay, you know what to do, unless you're watching the premiere with us in real time. Hey everybody. In which case, you're stuck with me, get wrecked. If you're just joining me for the first time, my name is Hadrian, and I play games that tell stories. For episodic content, I focus on the kind of stories where the drama unfolds organically and is different every time you play. These are the experiences I've always loved to share, and they're the reason I have a YouTube channel, and the reason The Long Dark has always been such a big part of my community's YouTube journey. With one notable hiatus, the channel's been here since 2015. It's our second full year back on YouTube, and at present, my sights are still firmly set on 2 or 3 concurrent daily series focusing on sandbox emergent narratives, with weekly streams focusing on games with more scripted narratives in the months to come. There have been delays. That's the shortest possible version of that story, but the plan hasn't changed. That's the channel in a nutshell and where we are right now, such as it is. So thank you to every last Legionary subscriber and member for being here. And if you're very new, again, welcome, pardon our dust, and please accept my sincere and ongoing gratitude, all of you, for the constant generosity, patience, and support you've offered. Today we begin a brand new series on the channel that we've been talking about for a few months. Against All Odds is the name I gave to my first sandbox gameplay series in The Long Dark, back in days of yore when Coastal Highway was brand new. It's been nearly 10 years since then, but the name has stuck as a symbol of the brutal survival gauntlet that, as it were, keeps us all together as we make our own way through our respective quiet apocalypses. Most of my Long Dark gameplay, on YouTube or not, is played on custom difficulty. Against All Odds is no exception. I was a big proponent of seeing custom modes added, and I play them so much that I have virtually no survival stats on Stalker or Interloper to speak of, because I haven't really played them since The Long Dark left early access. In fact, I didn't even have any of the feats unlocked. I still don't have most of them until last year's fresh run through all of the challenges, which we called Against All Challenges. Typically, Against All Odds is played at an Interloper adjacent custom difficulty, with some aspects of the gameplay harder than Loper and some aspects of the gameplay easier. The series' focus is always on pushing the limits of survivability, hence Against All Odds, while avoiding the more distracting and annoyingly artificial elements, in my opinion, of Interloper's vanilla difficulty. The Season 0 runs of Against All Odds, however, have been a nostalgic return to lower intensity, pro-exploration, Stalker-adjacent custom play for the purposes of exploring and learning the new territory and new content added in the Tales from the Far Territory updates. The idea behind creating Seasons 0, 01, and now 02 is that us content creators focusing overmuch on Loper and Loper-adjacent gameplay does kind of lead to fewer of the truly beautiful, even relaxing, dare I say, moments that the Long Dark creates so frequently at the lower difficulties, both in moments of down-to-the-wire survival and exploration, just while you're out and about in the world. And this, at least for now, is to be the last one. The next time I welcome you to an Against All Odds series, it will be for Season 8, and we will not be taking it easy. But for now, we vibe. Season 01 showcased Update 4, including the Travois and the Zone of Contamination. For Season 02, we have a bit less new content to explore, given that we've already given Misery Mode a fair shake, and given that the headlining sandbox feature of Update 5 was removed to be reworked. But we do have a new zone, we do have the final tale called The Last Horizon, and I haven't touched any of it. And this time, we're jumping right back in at the Zone of Contamination, for the first time continuing an established save where Season 01 left off. Let me take a few moments to thank some very important folks, because now that you've all had a number of weeks to tackle The Last Horizon on your own and avoid spoilers, it's past time. So far past time that we got going. Memberships on YouTube are YouTube's answer to subscriptions on Twitch, and becoming a member at the Noble level increases the support regular viewership gives the channel by 300 to 400%, at least. Champions add around 2,000%, which is, in case you've ever wondered, why they get their own credit roll right now. Member badges and emotes in chat and in comments are only the most visible perks. Check out a full list of them by clicking join, which, depending on your device, is either right next to the subscribe button or beneath the channel intro on the channel's front page. Our channel has always been about building a strong community on the backbone of civility, common interest, and emergent narrative. So whether you're a champion, whether you're a noble, whether you're a long-term subscriber, whether you're a member or not, thank you. again, always, for everything that you continue to do to support the channel. So, all that being said, let's jump straight into gameplay. And when I say straight into gameplay, I'm not kidding around. This has never really happened before, with the exception of like Season 5.5, which was a playlist that I started after Season 5, took an unexpectedly long pause while I was recording it years ago. This is going to be a new series, but one that follows the ending of a previous one. So if you really want to have the entire story of this particular character, you can start with Season 01. Why am I doing it this way? I'll be fairly quick about it. Season 1 was long. We were doing Season 1. We did all of Signal Void. We did all of Buried Echoes over about 6 months of content and about 100 episodes. It's wild how long Season 01 took. So I thought it would be a nice counterbalance to continue from the same save rather than starting anew. We wouldn't have to do the tales again, obviously, but we would continue from the same save and go straight into the new zone and straight into the new tale. Now, devil's advocate, you might be wondering, Hadrian, how is this going to be an interesting beginning? You've already explored 96% of the world in Season 01. You have 122 days survived. You have so much gear. You have 2 expedition parkas. Why are we watching? I don't know how to get out of the Zone of Contamination. Are you kidding me? So that's going to be the interesting thing over the next little bit, because I'm in a cave right now, by the way. There's my improvised down bedroll. I have no lantern fuel. I have a couple of flares, but I'm not going to try to explore the cave further, because you might remember at the end of Season 01, I wandered around the cave like an idiot while I was kind of sharing my thoughts on the end of the tale and the end of the series. So we are going to try to find our way back out the way we came in and then head to the new zone. That's the plan. And we'll talk a little bit more about what is new in this series as we move forward. So first, let me pop this flare. Again, I'm light on flares. Oh, look. There's some coal. Ooh, quest music. Hold on. There we go.
Wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
New tale. Enter Sundered Pass to look for evidence of Rudiger's escape. So yeah, we're going to head back for the daylight up ahead. I have so much stuff. I don't have any water, though. So we're going to have to deal with that fairly soon. If you're curious what the settings are specifically, because I do normally, when I am running this series, when I'm starting a new series, I like to actually show what the settings are. And for the last couple of Season 0 runs, I haven't done that because we haven't changed too much. But if you want to check out what these settings kind of are, those are broken down in the beginning of Season 0. I don't think I even broke them down in the beginning of 01. But, okay. It looks like... I'm going to be honest, I don't quite remember where I am. One thing I did, because I was thinking about the tension question and like starting off the series, is I didn't do any kind of reminder. I didn't go back and watch the end of the last episode and kind of remind myself of the lay of the land. So I'm going to be awkwardly fumbling my way around here like a newbie. And I'm sure you'll be entertained. I'm just going to grab a few cattails along the way. Now, food-wise, I'm actually in pretty good shape, so I don't need to do this too much. But we are, of course, right next to the waterfall where we finished the last tale. So I'm going to head kind of this way. I genuinely don't remember that much about how I got here, so this will be quite a challenge, especially if the weather kind of turns against me. One of the most extreme settings that we're running in Season 0 is we have the auroras turned all the way up, so those are quite frequent. And also the wolves are a little bit spicier than your typical Stalker wolves. But otherwise, it's a much more relaxed difficulty setting devoted to exploration of this beautiful game world. So what's interesting about the Part 5 update, we did wait a little while after the update, so it's been like, what, month and a half, 2 months since it came out. There's a demon. We call the female deer demons around here because they make scary noises when they walk up behind you and you don't expect them. I'm going to try and follow this ridge here, just for giggles. But it's been about a month and a half. I wanted to give people time to experience the tale on their own before I went headlong into it, especially given that I am charging straight forward into the tale with no real hesitation and without any kind of preparation first. We have, you know, all the gear that we really need to press forward. I gave people some time, and now we are going to jump straight in, as I said. But what's been interesting about this latest update is, of course, the headlining feature was the kitty cat, the Cougar, and, you know, the idea seemed decent on paper, but the community's overall reaction to it, especially after waiting for it for a very long time, was probably one of the most, like, significant instances of disappointment and frustration that we'd seen from the community in a long time. I'm not sure if this is even going to take me anywhere, but I'm going to try. It seems like it's a path that's meant to be followed, so I'm going to kind of trust that. And it looks like it might turn around up here, maybe. I do need to eat something. Let's not give in to well-fed. This is going to be interesting coming from misery mode to this.
I'd eat snow if the hypothermia wouldn't kill me.
So I do need to start a fire. What I'm probably going to do is make my way up this direction. The funny thing is, I don't remember how I got to that waterfall. I don't think I came from a route like this. So I'm just kind of trusting that this is going to lead me in an interesting new direction. I have completely full health, which is nice. Oh, that was a surprise. Let's bandage that ankle. I'll deal with the pain for a bit. Alright, so don't really need the flare. Plus, without the flare hissing in the background, if there's a wolf nearby, I'll find out soon enough. We're carrying a decent amount of extra stuff, but we're not too far from safety. I don't think. One thing I do like about where I'm going right now is that it seems like I'm traveling uphill pretty substantially, and that might help me. God, I really want to look around back there. Tempted to. That might help me get my bearings a little bit. So I definitely just decided to not remind myself at all. Oh look, there's a hole in the world about anything. So anyway, as I was saying, the Cougar was a bit disappointing, and they are reworking it, and the only other major feature aside from misery mode, which we did play a series in here, that's been added is cheating death. And that's not really something that's part of gameplay in real time. That's something that... Oh, interesting. Where does this go? What if this leads to a cave? Yeah, I see some stalactites up there. So let's go ahead and step into this cave, start a fire so we can get some water going. And then we will continue to try and get our bearings. I want to go back that way a little bit more.
Sure getting cold.
The Zone of Contamination is genuinely, I think, one of my favorite new zones in a while. I think people have some mixed opinions on it, for sure, but I like it. I like that there's a lot of interior environment to explore. There's certainly bigger buildings than we're used to seeing in the Long Dark, so that's refreshing. Have I already been here? Maybe I've already been here. I have. Very interesting indeed. Having a Gandalf moment, I have no memory of this place. Alright, so we're not going to use accelerant. We don't need to. We, of course, have some fire strikers, which is lovely. So since we don't have a lot of new content to kind of explore, we're really going to be focusing on getting to the new zone, exploring that, and also focusing on the new tail. Alright, so I put more coal on there than I really have. Do I not have any... Excuse me. So apparently I have left my cooking pot behind again. That must have been a mistake that I made at the end of the last series. I probably mentioned it, but again, I didn't do any kind of re-watching to prepare because I thought that would be fun. So... we'll just fill those cans up. I'm sure we'll find another cooking pot. Where would I have left it, though? That's really interesting. I do have these insulated flasks. And clothing-wise, as you can see, I am in superb shape. Really good shape. We are carrying the moose-hide satchel and the security chief's rifle holster. We have the foreman's tool belt. Thankfully, it's not too heavy. Truth be told, I'm not too enamored with that item. I think that it is useful for certain items, like it makes tools lighter when you wear it. But given that you only have 2 accessory slots, it's like the return on investment for wearing that is not particularly good compared to other accessories that you could wear. So I haven't really seen or heard or come up with a compelling argument for prioritizing that as a wearable item, but I suppose some people might for one reason or another. Let's go ahead and drink this water and that water, and then we might have a little bit left. I think I want to take advantage of one more rotation here. Nope, don't want to cook the corn. Okay, there's that. And what we'll do, I might even have some, yeah, I have some burdock that I could prepare. Oh, I have 6 different burdock I could prepare. Nice. But nothing else in the way of like reishi mushrooms or rose hips or birch bark at the moment. That's fine. So let's step back out here, because we still have plenty of time. We're not that tired. It's midday, and I need to figure out where the heck I am, because I genuinely have no clue. This might be a good vista, though. I might get one slight idea of where I am in the zone relative to where I came in. I can at least see some... Oh, no, that just looks right back towards the waterfall, and I don't see... Ooh, interesting. Yeah, I see no other buildings. Okay. Well, that makes life more interesting. Let's head back down. And I'm going to keep going that way, and I hope, I really hope that this takes me somewhere that I can see landmarks a bit more clearly, and then I kind of have some idea. I'm not going to worry about those rose hips right now. I kind of have some idea where I need to go from there. So because this is a different form of start for an Against All Odds series, if you have not gotten the full experience of this particular Survivor story and you want to kind of see it from the beginning, you can definitely watch Season 01. Like I said, it was a long one, so that's why I wanted to do this one a little bit differently, because the real purpose of Season 0 runs is to explore and adjust to new content. It's just fascinating that, on account of the Cougar being taken out, there's not as much to explore in that sense this time. Ooh. Oh, wow. What? Wait. No, it can't. It's not this easy. No. 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 Those are the... I recognize those cars. Those are the cars that are on the side of the... Oh, I see a wolf up there. Damn. Alright. I'm not going to worry about those cattails, because the weather is kind of coming back, but now I actually feel like I'm at the frickin'... Are you serious? This is supposed to be dramatic, game. How dare you take me right back to the entrance? I'm not even kidding. This is the entrance. This is the entrance. This is where I came in. Yeah. I know it is. Matter of fact, I think... Hold on. The one thing I don't remember is if this was the actual entrance. Or if... Because I seem to remember coming in from a higher point. I never walked in on a road like this. So this part here feels weird. Alright, leaves on...
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
What is happening? This is not what I remember. So now I am going to go back. Now I am going to go back after this ends. After I'm done recording, and after I've done uploading and watching the premiere with everybody, which will be in a little while today, I'm going to go back and we're going to look at the end of Season 01, but also look at the entry point into the Zone of Contamination before I started looking through the area. Because holy crap!
I could eat a horse.
I wasn't expecting it to be that straightforward.
Because I love horses.
Alright, so here we are back in the transfer pass. For those of you who have not yet played in Tales of the Far Territory and happen to be watching, this is the connection point for the DLC-based zone. So they kind of created a separate part of the world that you can only access with the DLC, and you enter the transfer pass, and it's kind of a hub that connects to several other zones. Now, again, as I mentioned in the beginning, as I was unpausing, one thing that I can do, absolutely, or could have done at least at the beginning, was I could have gone through that cave. I just had already spent a lot of time fumbling around in there, and I didn't necessarily want to begin the series by, like, walking around in the dark in the same way that I ended the last one. That seemed even less compelling as a start, given that we're doing something so different with this. So, right, here's some books that I've left previously. Speaking of books, do I have any still to read? No, I don't. Okay, so here's the thing. There's still some... Oh, that is a flare that I can just use. That's awesome. Alright, so there's no... Unfortunately, there's no cooking pot here. I wasn't expecting there to be one, but there was a part of me that was like, what if I accidentally left one there at some point? We've left cooking pots behind at a few points in this particular save. Hopefully with this season, I will be better than I was in the last one. It was kind of comical by the time I did it for the third or fourth time. Not something that usually happens, but, you know, nobody's perfect. So, let's go ahead and prepare some burdock. I'm just going to go ahead and craft these two while we warm up. And I don't want to take too long. I would, now that I'm out of the Zone of Contamination, I mean, hey, we could make it into the new zone before too much longer. So, let's sort by condition. These carrots don't have a lot more shelf life on them, so I'm going to go ahead and enjoy them before they become a problem. Well, of course, I have cooking 5, come to think about it, so condition is not really a problem regardless. Definitely going to be an adjustment going from misery gameplay to this, because I have so much stuff. And this is back to the typical problem of just, like, carrying way too many things around, given how much stuff I have. But we're going to stay encumbered for now, because I want to bring as much as I can with me into the new zone. And for those of you who are wondering, okay, well, what do we do with this series once we've finished the tale and once we've finished exploring the new zone? Well, I'm kind of open to different possibilities. We'll see. I don't know if I'll make a full run of it, but at the very least, I'm open to it. I'm not definitively going to say that we are going to, you know, close the series after we finish the third tale and finish exploring the new zone and all of that. That just doesn't seem like it's necessary to make that big of a commitment. So, we will keep our options open. Because I think for a lot of people, especially now that we've had a couple of them, I think the Season 0 runs have been really enjoyable for a significant portion of the viewership. I know that there are some people also who are looking forward to the return to higher difficulty stuff. But honestly, I think kind of giving both modes of play their due is what I want to do. Because there's a reason that Season 0 runs exist. And I don't have to sit here justifying it, really. The nice thing about that is I really don't, because the fact is, oh, hello. Why can I still not see? I like how it's crossed out, like I still don't have it here. That's worrisome. Okay, tell you what. I don't know how to get to the Sundered Pass. It's telling me to go back down the road that we just came down. Now, I guess now comes the drama. But we'll get to that in a second. What I was saying was that we've all played The Long Dark for a long time. Most of us have. We know how beautiful this game is when it's a little bit lower in intensity, because for a long time we didn't have interloper difficulty. We only had Stalker. Okay, so this road goes where exactly? I bet this is it. I bet this is it. This feels new. This feels new. I'm just hoping to find a cave or something, because, bit of a storm coming in. We are thankfully quite well protected from the weather at this point. But that doesn't mean that I want to just be walking around with a storm coming. I'm fairly certain this is where I need to go, though. Because Forsaken Airfields Road is more that direction. So this should take me to the Sundered Pass, hopefully. Yeah, this pass is looking pretty sundered, if I do say so myself. I don't remember this turn ever, so this has got to be it. And we're also definitely climbing in elevation. One thing that's been pretty consistent about all the preview content I've seen for the Sundered Pass is that, and like I said, I haven't been there at all, so I have no idea really what it's like. I haven't watched anyone play it. No experience with it. This is a completely blind playthrough for the tail and for the pass, so please be mindful of spoilers and directions and such like that, and things like that, because I'm not looking to be kind of told what to do. That is a bunny coming toward me. I definitely want to experience this as a new player and figure some things out. Especially now that we don't have the Traveler to figure out a second time. That was one of the things that made Season 01 take so long. It's just me figuring out that I had certain bad ideas about how the Traveler could best be used. So you notice that I'm not even dragging it behind me anymore, and haven't been for a while. There's a reason for that. Okay. It looks like there is a path up here. I wonder if there's a cave. I mean, it certainly seems like... I might not even be able to go through here. Let me see. Yeah, this looks actually like it's totally collapsed. Although... Oh no. No, I can... Oh yeah, it's definitely just collapsed. You can't go through this. Yeah. Sealed off. Okay, so we need to keep going the other direction. Although that is something of a cave itself there. Oh, crap. Okay, well. Now decisions have to be made. Because I have to climb. Didn't see that coming. I guess I'm not bringing everything with me. That's rude. But that's also cool. Like, you're actually climbing into the zone. So it's a Timberwolf Mountain style, which is appropriate. There's more elevation to this zone, as I was saying. So it's a Timberwolf Mountain style entry point. So, okay then. Let's make some executive decisions, shall we? First of all, I guess I'll drop this coal, much as I don't want to. I have a ton of matches, ridiculous amount. So much so that I'm going to, in fact, drop those 12. I'll keep the larger boxes, and I'll keep the 24. Sure, why not? Oh my god, how many stems do I have? Why is that even necessary? I mean, I probably had them from when I was not trusting myself to live through all of the... Ooh, music. Oh, I know this track, though. When I was not trusting myself to live through all the Zone of Contamination stuff, it makes sense. Alright, so let's go ahead and drop most of those cans. We can drop this scrap metal. I still need to get rid of 10 more pounds of stuff, though. We do have the cooking skillet, at least. I really wish they would put that on the freaking radial, though. That would be nice if they did that. It'd be so convenient. Can you imagine? Just trying to get rid of as much weight as I can here. Would prefer to keep all my food on me in case this entrance is a little bit dicey. Now, I don't think I need the canisters anymore. And in some ways, I think one of the easiest ways to lose weight would be to drop some of these stims. Especially given that I'll be coming back for them, presumably at some point. So, what if I were to hold on to just, like, 6? Okay, and the mask, of course, doesn't weigh anything. Still have some burdock root to make. I'm going to drop these noisemakers, because we just don't need them at the moment. We've got rifle shell casing. We've got the rifle itself. We've got a revolver. We have a bow. We do have some lantern fuel. Interesting. I didn't think I did. I really thought I was completely out of lantern fuel, maybe just because it said no lantern fuel when I loaded the save up. Again, didn't do any kind of review, so damn. There's really not a lot that I can drop. I mean, I could drop some of these bandages. I could drop half of my antibiotics. Drop the painkillers. And then I could just drop... I suppose I could just get rid of this water. And then make some more once I got to the top. That would certainly do it. And I could drop this. Perfect. That's a pretty tall climb. But I'll make it. What would be hilarious is if this was not the actual Sundered Pass. Oh look! Some fur firewood for me right as I get to the top. That's handy. This is definitely it though. Because I haven't been here before, and there's literally only one new area to explore at this point. So it's like if I see something that looks like a new transition zone, I'm just going to lean in that direction, you know? I'm going to trust that I am where I need to be. I'm glad that road showed itself, though. If they didn't have the road, I might have had a little bit more trouble finding my way back up here. Did drop most of my bandages there, so I'll have to be mindful of that. Really hopeful that we get a cave before long, but we have full health. We can be cold for a while, as long as we keep an eye on hypothermia risk. Also, I probably should pick up at least a few sticks. I picked up those first two, and then there's a second two. And a third two. There we go. 5, 6. Nice. I could technically start a fire down here. It's just that if the wind did the thing where it starts coming straight down this particular crevasse, then I would not be happy about it. It is interesting as I move through here. Like, this is the... There have been a number of zones recently added to the Long Dark that are accessed, like, by way of a long crevasse now. So, Ash Canyon is probably the oldest one, where there are kind of long trenches like this that you walk through. I don't think we've actually entered the new zone yet, by the way. I think we're still in the transfer pass, interestingly enough. So I still don't have a guarantee that I'm going where I think I'm going. I just am confident based on, well, I'm reasonably confident anyway, based on map knowledge and general experience with the transfer pass, that this is somewhere I haven't been yet. I guess I'll take those rose hips since they're right in front of me. Let's climb straight down. As funny as it is that I found my way out of... Yeah, let's hop down here. That I found my way so quickly out of the Zone of Contamination, I am kind of happy that we are presumably going to get to this new zone in the first episode. That's kind of exciting because, again, the whole purpose of doing this was to lean into exploring the new zone and the new tale and get to it a lot faster than we did in Season 01. So, if we are indeed approaching the Sundered Pass, then mission frickin' accomplished. Huzzah. And everyone spammed had hype in chat. Let's Who am I kidding? They're already doing that. So let's go ahead and move a little further. I'm a little bit... Hypothermia risk is approaching about 20%. So I'd prefer a cave sooner than later. Definitely climbing, if you haven't noticed. We haven't stopped going uphill for pretty much the last 10 minutes. Really interested to see just how vertical of a zone the Sundered Pass is. What's cool for me right now in this moment is that, you know, just as I said in Season 01, you know, this is a kind of first attempt, exploratory, you know, totally blind run. I had seen glimpses of the Zone of Contamination because I watched the preview videos fairly extensively, and I happened to, you know, like pop in to say hello to Athenon a couple times while he was doing it. I just didn't stick around, so I didn't watch closely, and I didn't pay attention to the region or to like the mechanics or certainly how the mask works or any of that. So I certainly had to figure that out in Season 01 in real time. But I do feel like I had seen a bit of it by the time I got to the Zone of Contamination. I didn't feel like I knew where I was going at all, but I felt like there was some familiarity to it. And let me tell you, this is not the same. I have no knowledge. I haven't watched anyone, even for a few instants, play this new zone. So I'm going in completely blind, as opposed to like 99.5% blind. This is 100% blindness. All I've seen of this zone are the preview shots in the update video, and I didn't even watch those closely. So I feel like I have very little, like, latent knowledge of what's going on here. Holy crap, this is a long entryway. This feels almost as, well, not quite, but it's approaching the length of Forsaken Airfield's entry pass. So getting into this zone on higher difficulty, my god. I can only imagine how stressful it might be to be an interloper player or an Agoa player trying to make it through into the Sundered Pass if you're low on supplies. I mean, if you're good on supplies, then you might have some teas in your insulated flasks, and you have enough, obviously there's enough detritus lying around that you can make fires. I haven't done that yet just because I would rather find a cave, and I feel like I might find one soon. At the very least, we have all these really tall walls of stone. Up there we go.
I'm not sure I can carry much more.
There it is. Sundered Pass region. Yeah, so we have all these really tall walls, so I could park next to one of these and put a fire down. But damn it, I would rather find a cave. Here we are. Whoa.
I need to find a place to rest.
Whoa, hold on. Look at that. See, when we see a mountain that tall normally in the long dark, like with the exception of maybe Timberwolf Mountain, it's a sprite, you know? That's not a sprite, that's a model. What the heck? Excuse me? Okay, there's a couple different paths I could take here. Oh, that looks like a structure. Okay. I wasn't gonna follow this road here, but let's see what happens if I go up that way. I don't know if I'll actually be able to get to it, but I can risk losing a bit more life. Sure, why not? Why the heck not? Is there a cave up here? Oh, yep. Okay, so this is the other side of the collapsed tunnel. Doesn't look like I can really get in there, although I'm curious if it's possible to... Yeah, see, you could probably put down a fire here if you were desperate, so there's lots of little nooks and crannies in the walls for experienced survivors to kind of hunker down and get what they need, but we're playing on low difficulty. I'm confident that I can keep moving, so this experienced survivor is going to just eat the condition loss for a bit. We are getting tired, which is worth... Hello? It's worth noting. Let's grab those rose hips. Do I happen to have any... I do. Cool. I was checking to see if I had coffee. And it looks like I have coffee, so that's nice. Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, this pass is definitely oh. Excuse me? What? No. I don't like that at all. That's not, I'm not attempting that. Not when I'm this tired. Are you kidding me? Wow. Okay, so that's just a fake out, is what that is. That's a giant fake out. I mean, maybe it's not. Maybe you can hop across that, but I'm not going to trust that right now. Are you kidding? We're going to go the other way. I like that, though, because that doesn't happen too often in the Long Dark. Most of the time, the Long Dark tends to telegraph paths pretty clearly to the player, like, hey, here's somewhere you can go. It tends not to offer that many red herrings, like where what seems like an obvious path just becomes like completely cut off like that, so it's kind of refreshing. Starting to think about making some of that coffee, though, let me tell you. Yeah, so that's frustrating. I'm still making my way back, because that's the entry point, and then we needed to go back this direction. Thankfully, the weather's actually improved a bit, but I don't, like, the whole reason I went up there is I saw that thing, and I was like, okay, well, that looks man-made. Well, it's certainly man-made, but there's also, like, there's a feeling of shelter. I can just rely on that. All right, hypothermia risk is quite high. I'm going to need to make a fire. I need to stop dallying. I was so baselessly confident that I would find a cave sooner than this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look for just a moment longer, because I still think it's possible. But if I get down this slope that I'm on now, and I can look around past, like, the underside of this ridge that I'm standing on, and I don't see a cave anywhere. Alright, so I see a climbing point over there, across the way. But if I get down to the bottom of this and I don't see a cave, I'm just going to make a fire somewhere and roll with it, because I also need to be mindful of the fact that there are probably wolves, maybe even bears. Who knows? I don't know what the wildlife does around here. I've never been here before. What are we doing? Watching very closely for movement amidst these trees. I'm seeing reishi mushrooms, which is good, so we'll have the opportunity to make lots of tea if we need it. There's lots of wood all around down here, and there's a deer. All I really need is some icicles to point me toward a cave. Some stalactites. Just like that last one. Need that to happen one more time. Hypothermia risk is quite high. Let's get the rifle out just in case. Really pushing it right now.
I'd lay down right here if I thought I'd ever wake up again.
Oh, you'll be fine. You'll be fine. Give me a minute. I actually feel like I'm... Unless this is a dead end, which would suck. I was about to say, I feel like I'm about to find something, but this looks like just a one massive dead end. Although, this little bit up here looks like it might work for putting a fire down to make some coffee. Not an ideal situation, though, because I just don't see any shelter anywhere close. Okay, this is less than ideal, actually. Alright, here's what we're going to do. We're going to step up to this rock here and hope that this provides enough shelter from the wind. Stand right here. How's it looking? Where are we blocked from the wind? Here. Okay. Perfection. Alright, let's go ahead and... No tinder needed. I will use a stick. And just for the sake of time, let's use one of those accelerants. A couple things need to happen. Alright, good. Fire's already more than warm enough. Let's go ahead and place the cooking skillet there. Now here... I guess I don't have enough water at the moment, so I guess I'll... Yeah, that's right, because I dropped it all. My bad. I can cook a potato. Do I need to, though? I'd rather... Yeah, let's do water for now. Alright, so we're quite tired.
Feels like night is coming.
Uh-oh. Alright, let's try and make some coffee on this fire while we still can. Wind is definitely blowing at the fire now. That is suboptimal. And we have an aurora, too, which is also suboptimal. Okay, now we have our drama. Cool. I'm going to keep drinking these. Of course, I won't be able to drink it, like, a lot. Alright, fire is getting blown out. That's unfortunate. Kind of saw that coming.
Pack is getting kind of heavy.
But the good news is we've got some energy and we're warm again. So we no longer have hypothermia risk, and I just need to find a cave. Right, there's a deer. So what I'm going to do is just follow this wall and hope not to run into anything too aggressive. Surprisingly uncertain entry into the Sundered Pass. But that's the fun of it, right? I've said so many times over the years that The Long Dark is a game that is at its best when you don't, as a player, know where you're going. You don't have the map knowledge. Okay, there's a climbing point, but I'm not going to use that right now. And I kind of hate that I'm not going to use it because I feel like I might be, like, kind of supposed to use it. Just need to find a cave. Alright, so far not seeing any hostile wildlife, seeing lots of cattails. I think I see a wolf up there, yep. He's not aurorified yet though, that's good. So I'm going to cross over this way. I'm not sure if this water's, or this ice is safe. So I guess we'll find out the hard way. Alright, so now we're going to make our way back up this slope. We don't have a ton of energy, and that might not be the only wolf. So let's just hope the wolf doesn't run left. Because that would be bad, right? An aurora on our first night in the Sundered Pass. Again, that's the main feature of this code, is that we have spicier wolves thanks to the auroras, and more frequent auroras. So more frequent spicy wolves, but I'm actually feeling pretty good about getting around that one. I just don't know if there's an... Oh, there's another one literally right there. Hi. That surprised me. I still don't see... Wow, they're killing all the bunnies. Bunny massacre. This looks like a bit of a path. We're still warm enough thanks to the coffee. Whoa. Random spray in there. Let's get the rifle back out just in case. And I really, really hope that there's some shelter around the corner. This is quite an interesting entrance. And it's going to be really funny if I find out later that that pass... Well, two things. It'll be hilarious if that is the Sundered Pass. I kind of doubt it, because it's so small, that little gap in the road. But it's certainly sundered. There's not an aurora right now. I'm hearing the noise, but I'm not seeing it. I wonder what the significance of that is. So yeah, it'd be funny for that reason, but also it would be funny if we found out that I could have in fact crossed that. Because it's always possible. Okay, so we have a climbing point up here. I'm grateful for the good visibility. Can you imagine if this was all happening against the backdrop of a blizzard right now? I don't want to think about it. Definitely a very, very vertical zone. And it continues to take me further and further. I see a body there, but I'm not going to check that body right now. I want to find shelter. I will grab that stick. Damn it. I knew that was going to happen. I was trying to get up on the flat ground. So that's our last bandage, interestingly enough. We'll need to find more cloth, which I will not be able to use to repair clothing.
Oh, rest suit, I'm gonna faint.
Okay. Really hoping, fingers crossed, for anything resembling a cave. It doesn't even have to be a full cave, it just resemble a cave. It could be like a collapsed tunnel. We've seen a couple of those already. Give me one of those. That'd be fine. That'd be fine. I totally should have taken my own advice earlier and actually plopped down in that spot next to the tunnel to try to get some warmth back up, but I don't know that it would have helped a ton, and I wouldn't be able to sleep there, and that's the main reason that I'm looking for a cave at the moment. It's not just for warmth, it's for a place to actually go to bed. Oh no. That's a climbing rope. I don't have... I dropped most of my stems. Oh, this is incredibly rude. I don't have the energy to get up a climbing rope right now. Are you kidding me? And I don't have what I need to start a fire, so I can't... The only way I'd be able to do this is if I took a stem and just yeeted myself up the... Yep, we're doing it. We have no choice. Okay, let's take a look at what I'm carrying, because this is clearly going to be over capacity. I'm going to go ahead and eat these prepared burdock, because I don't have a choice. That's one thing to get rid of, and then I'll drink that water. I don't want to get rid of more water. I can get rid of some cattails, and that should get me down below 99. And then we're going to have to take a stem, and the really crappy thing about this is that once the stem wears off, first of all, visibility is going to be limited on account of, well, the usual reasons. It's nighttime. We just experienced this not only in the intro to this series because of the clip I used, but in the last Misery series when we had to deal with that. Okay. What the heck did I pick up since I came up here? Is it really just... Is it really just the water? Yeah, it's just the water. Man, that sucks. Okay. Here we are. We're going to have to drop some water again. And there we go. Now what I'll have to do is... I really hope there's a place I can rest up here, because I am not going to be able to get much farther. Okay. Now I will be able to get my lantern out for a bit, because I do have lantern fuel. That's nice. But if there's a wolf up here, I'm in trouble.
Starting to feel numb.
I see a few shapes in the darkness up ahead. I do not like that. It's hard for me to tell right now what they are. So yeah, we might have to use a second stim here. Wait, hold on. Please. For the love of God. Oh, that's a ravaged doe carcass. Ugh. Okay, those are stumps. I'm going to use the stim to sprint a little bit here. Might have to use a second one if I don't find a cave in the next few seconds. Wow. There's nothing. And there we go. We're tired.
I'm too tired to think straight.
Okay. Actually, I have decent visibility right now, so let me make absolutely sure there's nothing back here, because this looks oddly suspect. This is a much more tense intro to this zone than I imagined. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't this.
It's so cold. I'm warming up a bit.
You're fine. Actually, you might not be fine. That's the thing. If I don't have what I need to start a fire, which I definitely don't at the moment. Hang on. There. That looks like it might be a cave, but I just don't see any of the normal markers of a cave. So I'm going to be very careful. Yeah, that actually looks like a cave. If it's not a cave, it's a hell of a fake out. That looks like it goes back into the rock, but there's just no icicles the way you would normally expect in the long dark when there's a cave. So let's take a look. Where are you gonna find the drama, Hadrian? Right frickin' here. Right frickin' here. This is insane. Oh wait, Excuse me? Is this... Are you serious right now? Did I just find the other side of the cave? By sheer happenstance? Is this where I would have popped out? Had I actually stayed in the cave? And also notice that it's lit right now, interestingly enough, because there's this opening. Hang on. I'm not... I want to rest, but I... Oh, hello. Yeah, there's some coal. Nice. Actually, I think I might need those to repair my mucklucks, so yeah, we'll take those. Alright, now it's getting dark. As expected. So let me... I'll tell you what, let's go back. I'm not going to use my lantern fuel because I don't have a lot. I want to climb back up because I think there'll be... I can sleep very easily up there. And there's still more to explore, too. That's weird. Freaked me out for a second. I was like, wait, am I going to be able to get back up that? Normally there are vines, but they varied it a little bit, which I appreciate. I'm just making sure also before I rest in here that this is not one of the one of the newer caves in the long dark that also has some wildlife in it. Alright, I can certainly rest here. So that's handy. Wow. Okay. I'm going to be able to sleep for a good while. Let's go ahead and eat these sardines. I will need to make some more water, unfortunately. But now let's get a ton of condition back. Let's see. I'm not going to sleep for a straight 12 hours. Let's say 10 or so. Don't have any tea, unfortunately, so we're not getting as much health back as we normally would. I just hated seeing my life so low. So, 123 days, 22 hours, 26 minutes. Sun has risen.
I would drink almost anything about now.
How am I doing on fire starting supplies? I have no wood because I dropped it all, so I have nothing to drink. That's annoying. So, hold on. Did I come through here? I don't think I did. Let's get the lantern out for just a second. For whatever reason, the lighting is different this direction, and I think this is because it's a different pass. Yes, this is different. I didn't come this way. I came this way. This is an interesting cave. I immediately want to explore it more, but the most important thing right now is that I get outside, grab some wood, and get some water. What an arrival. And I feel like I haven't seen, because everything has so much elevation, I feel like I haven't really gotten much of a glimpse of what the zone is all about. But I guess now could be that moment. Don't see any structures of any kind. I'm going to hang a left here. Quite cold. We have no water. There are no sticks on the ground. This doesn't look promising. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's doable. Okay. So, that's a stick, but it's a bigger stick than I am willing to really chomp up at the moment. It would also take a lot of time, and I don't have a lot of time. I mean, listen, not playing on misery difficulty anymore. I could chop that up and get the wood that I need, and it would be fine. But part of me wants to just keep going, because I'm enjoying this view. Look at this. Ptarmigan, right in front of me. Hi. Alright, so I see the road over there. I don't see the observatory yet. I know there's an observatory somewhere in here, but I don't see it. Also, there are very few trees up here. You can see they've been chopped down. Maybe there'll be some sticks up here. No, I guess it's unreasonable to expect sticks when there are no trees in the immediate vicinity. So I guess I'm not going to find sticks of the smaller variety unless I go back down to where those trees were, or unless I find a new area with trees. So for now, I'm just going to have to be thirsty and lose a bit more condition.
I need a drink.
Jennifer, that is literally what I was just talking about. Try to keep up. Let's cross this tree bridge. Shame we can't peel any sticks off of this, huh? Nice to have my energy back. That was a bit of a nerve-wracking element of looking for that cave, but we found it. Wasn't the kind of cave I was expecting to find either. I was expecting to find just a cave without an interior space like that where you actually transition into it. I was expecting just to find a cave. You might call it an outdoor cave as opposed to an indoor cave in the long dark. I'm also kind of surprised at this point, maybe I don't want to jinx it, but I'm kind of surprised that, with the exception of those wolves that I snuck past a moment ago, I haven't really run into too many wolves at all. Like, there haven't been any wolves or bears along this pass as I make my way through it. And I also don't know that this is literally the only way that you could go. Ooh, does this... Will this...
I'm freezing.
No. Yeah, I didn't think so because of its shape. Okay, so we are cold again, and we're thirsty. Worst combination of condition problems. So I'll have to deal with that soon-ish. Speaking of dealing with things, I'm very wary of the fact that I might soon actually see a wolf or a bear. This is interesting. It just seems like there are different... Oh, hey, there's a cave. Okay. Let's go in here. So I'm only seeing larger chunks. Oh, man, that looks like a very icy cave. But yeah, I'm only seeing larger chunks of wood on the ground. Whoa! What is... Is that running water? That's wild. Alright, there's a flare. Someone had a campfire here at some point. That's so freaking cool. Nowhere in the Long Dark have we ever had a cave like that, with that kind of atmosphere or vibe. And I would like to spend more time in it, but I want... Okay, I see things. Alright. I'll see if I can figure out where my next camping spot is going to be. Also, we'll need to wrap this episode up before too much longer, but first I want to see what's going on up here. What's this? That looks like a piece of something that I might find more of if I go this way, I suppose. I'm guessing something crashed very aggressively against the mountainside and tumbled down and left pieces of itself. Alright, so I'm seeing some... Hi! Hold that thought. 2 wolves, finally. Oh, there's the bridge. Nice. I'm actually going to try and avoid tangling with this wolf if I can. I'm going to pick up these sticks along the way. Did he just lose line of sight? I think he did. I think he did. That's rare. Alright, so unfortunately missed the chance for some sticks there. We will need to wrap up soon here, but I would like to have a place to wrap up, if at all possible. This looks like it might be something, maybe. Not really. It's kind of a minor shelter. So what I'm kind of getting the vibe is this is less like Zone of Contamination in terms of being... like having a lot of man-made stuff, and this is more along the lines of an Ash Canyon or along the lines of a Timberwolf Mountain, where there's not a lot to be found. Oh wow, that is a massive pack of... Wait. Timberwolves? Excuse me? I was not... Okay, you know what? Fair enough. I did say don't spoil it. Oh. Okay. It's gonna be like that. Okay, game. I see you. I see you. Wow, I am glad I didn't walk up on them unawares. Alright, I have no bandages to speak of, so I do not want to sprain right now. I'm going to try and get up this slope Wow. Do need to end this episode, but I'm going to try and end it at a sensible point. Huh. Doesn't seem like I can traverse that the way that I want to. Alright, so we're going to have to stealth past some Timberwolves here. I could technically snipe a bunch of them from here and probably do pretty well. I had no idea. Sometimes I hear rumors and I kind of put it out of my mind when I'm doing something for the first time. That was the sound of a clueless, shocked Hadrian. I had no idea this was a Timberwolf zone. But it makes so much sense. It makes so much sense. Because none of... Shit. That's what I didn't need to happen. What I really don't need to happen is a wrist sprain. Do I have any cloth? I do actually have cloth. We're going to eat some condition loss while we do this, but worth it.
I wonder if I can drop any of this gear.
To not be limping around for the last few minutes of this episode. Okay. Wow. Ooh, interesting. Hold on. That is a normal wolf. This doesn't necessarily... Oh no, those are Timberwolves too. Interesting. Okay, well in that case, hold on. We are not going to give them a clever girl moment. I'm going to go this way. My hypothermia risk is back up to 50%. I have no water. I can put down a fire anywhere I want and get some. But there's this stubborn part of my brain that's going, no, there's probably going to be shelter around the next corner. And it keeps being proven wrong. But then it just goes, okay, next corner. Okay, next corner. Okay. Actually, let me... Oh, there's the observatory up there. Interesting. Don't know how I'm going to get up there, but there it is. Okay, this doesn't lead anywhere. I was thinking maybe there'd be a cave. This is an interesting zone. Although, I don't know how I feel about these vast stretches of relatively bleak, kind of wide passes that I'm walking through right now. There's not a lot going on in them. It's definitely different. I'll give the game that. It definitely feels different. That being said, it's fairly barren. The zone, I mean, granted, the zone is called Sundered Pass, so maybe I shouldn't be surprised. But it definitely feels sundered. Even the trees, when you spot them, with the exception of that first area that I was wandering around in when I was getting dark and I needed shelter. Even the trees are relatively sparse. Oh, hi. That would be my luck. So that's a bear. And I still have no hint of any shelter whatsoever. There's probably a bear cave. So that's at least one possibility. Also, it might be that this path up here leads back around to the observatory. Certainly seems like that's possible, because the observatory is back behind this giant boulder, and I'm certainly seeing that this looks traversable. Maybe not, though. Maybe not, though. Wow. Wow, look at this. What the heck? That's a building. Those are timber wolves. Okay. This zone, y'all, it's massive. It's absolutely massive. Okay. We have our endpoint in sight, presumably. Let me try not to die. There's some carrion crows over to my left. I see a road. That's a good sign. Now we get my bearings and maybe help find my way back to the observatory, which I think is somewhere over there. What would really suck is if this building that I'm trying to make my way toward is not actually one that I can enter. I would be so unhappy if that were the case. But at least now I have a sense of, like, being near a road where I can follow that and find other things that are man-made in the zone and get the lay of the land. But this zone is huge and wide open. It's wide open in the same way that the Forsaken Airfield is wide open, interestingly enough. But it's not nearly as flat as the Forsaken Airfield, which I love.
I need to find food.
I really love that. Yep, I was right. I can't actually get in here. Although maybe it looks like the... Looks like the roof is accessible here. Yeah, it is. Maple syrup. Nice. Let's hop inside here.
Man, this pack is getting kind of heavy.
And before I end this episode, I want to at least look around here so that we can satisfy this curiosity. I would hate to leave this on a cliffhanger and not at least peek around in this brand new spot. There's a teddy bear. Okay, it's not useful, but cute, I guess. Is that another fire? No, that's a newspaper roll. For a second, I thought it was a fire striker. Okay, I was going to be very shocked. Okay, so there's a book, a trunk. I will need to eat a few cattails. Alright, we need to wrap this one up because this is going to be a pretty long episode and it's going to take a while to get ready for today. Oh yeah, there's lots more down here to be explored. I would rather go ahead and... did I see some water? I did. Stored water. Perfect. Let's grab that. So this... It's really interesting. This cabin's completely snowed under. And there may even be some plot-related things to discover here. But what I'm going to do for now is head back to this bed, which is quite safe. We have timber wolves nearby, so I'll have to bear that in mind. But I'm going to drink this water. Now that's going to be an actual... Like, I'll be able to get 12 hours of sleep with that. I don't need to get 12 hours. And also, really quick, while I'm thinking about it, let's go ahead and fill up on a bit more food. I should be able to find more here. We're almost 10 pounds encumbered again, which is wild. Let's drink a bit more, and now I can sleep for like 8 hours. That'll create a nice save point. I'll actually say 9. Recover lots of condition. Hypothermia risk will go away. Oh my gosh, what a beginning. I was not expecting to find my way into the new zone right away. Now we just have to kind of start looking for plot-related elements so that we can pursue these objectives. Reach the weather station and search the area using the handheld shortwave is our first objective for the new series. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. For early episodes, channel emotes, and member badges, look for the join button. New episodes are going to drop at 1 p.m. US Eastern Time every day but Wednesday. And this week we will actually have one on Wednesday too because it's a new series. Comments are always welcome. Leave your thoughts below. And I'll see you next time. As Jennifer smacks her lips right at the end of the episode. Okay, bye.